In today's pain and suffering Grand Prix, the INTERS will be faster than SOFTS at some point on a dry track. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen, if you missed the previous episode at Bahrain uploaded last week, I recommend you go and check that one out before seeing this one, because spoiler alert, P4 not too bad there, but yes. Now, good news. Our rear front downforce are almost here, so yes, we have 746 respawn points, you say. Major engine power here would be good for Imola, but I decided to hold off because look at that. Two for the price of two, really. We've got minor front downforce again as well, so yes, it's about just trying to get that on. I would love drag reduction, but we don't have that at the moment. Albon has purchased a minor weight reduction upgrade, but that's going to be crucial to unlocking tyre wear, and that's going to come in soon as well. I'm then going to decide we need to get major engine power. It's going to not come in time for Imola, unfortunately. Monaco we don't really need it for, but I'm thinking of the tracks after Monaco, like Canada, Austria, we will definitely need that engine power, so might as well get it on just in case it fails. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we're going to go straight towards. It's going straight to tyre wear. I don't want this to fail. This has to go on. For goodness sake, it's going to be a wet sprint qualifying. Welcome to hell, ladies and gentlemen, or the Hell Grand Prix, because I absolutely hate this circuit, and you're going to see why over the course of this video. First of all, though, R&D. That front and rear downforce upgrades have been crucial to coming here. Bruiser's in front of Aston Martin, trying to build that gap to Mercedes as well. Ferrari brought an upgrade to close the gap to Red Bull, and McLaren have dropped behind Red Bull too. So, I mean, Verstappen was already dominant, and that, apart from when I held him up in Australia, is he going to be more dominant? But we'll have to wait and see. It is absolutely chucking it down in sprint qualifying. And because of, well, I've already shown you on this game how OP the AI can be in full wet qualifying, and something was going on here at the end with the yellow flags as well. They're all together, they shouldn't be like that. It was Lando Norris, I believed, who caused that, but I've gone through that, and, well, I'm actually slowing them up. You know, I mean, if you'd actually not gone through the hassle there, Mr. Ferrari, whoever that is, I think it's Leclerc, I mean, no, you should have created your own gap, absolutely not allowing you to come past. You can come and sit with me at the back. I'm currently set a lap that's good enough for P20. It is starting to dry up a little bit, but my pace on the full wets is absolute garbage compared to the AI, and I'm talking like you need 3-4 clicks of AI, and that's good enough for last place. No surprise there. Hulkenberg's on the second row with Albon, though. That is a surprise. Look at that whopping gap between Verstappen and Hamilton. You can fit an, that will probably be, you can fit an entire grid in that gap as well. Lawson will be joining me at the back. He's got a penalty, so yes. Here's the sprint though. It is dry. Tyre wear. We know tyre wear is an issue on F25. This will be a precursor to see what's happening. I think wasn't Tim Martic who said if you had a set of hard tyres, which you're not allowed hard tyres in the sprints, but if you had the set of hard tyres you would be cooking. It's that tyre wear is that bad. 5 red lights for the Miami Grand Prix sprint, and away we go. And as usual on F25, it's a good start. That's why I'm going to go on the inside there, the outside there, the Alpine, trying to go around the outside. Andrea Kimchi, Antonelli, we're still waiting those driver ratings. By the way, the sprint and qualifying recorded on the previous patch, but the race is actually on the new patch, just to give that comparison. As Antonelli's going to come back at me with OP traction, I'm going to send it though on Lance Stroll down the inside. Hopefully he doesn't have a tantrum because he's been overtaken and mess up back of the garage again. Next up, it will be Esteban Ocon down the inside here into this so tight, but I'm going to make this move work. Can't be hanging around. Up to P11. That's a good start. As well, up at the front, it's business as usual as Max Verstappen does what he usually does in F125 and wins the race. by 58,000 seconds. The two Ferraris are third, second and third to deny Hulkenberg a potential maiden podium, even though it's the sprint race. I'm going to have a look at Piastri, who's very mid in F125, unlike in real life. And I set a purple final sector. I've got low wings here in mine. I'm going to send it down the inside of turn 1. They're about an orthodox. You don't really see too many overtakes there, but as well. Oh my goodness. First of all, I've got an issue. So the engine's on lean mixture now. So bang goes any chance of points. And then Piastri's going to go past with OP traction out that corner. I mean, the AI getting OP traction out that corner is absolutely diabolical. I'm going to send it back down the inside because I've broken way too early for that corner, as the AI do. And look at this. I mean, I've got no chance. Piastri's now 2.3 seconds up the road. Look at the rear tyres as well. And again, my theory is the AI has less tyre wear on F125. You know, even with me that's saying that, there's contact between Piastri and Norris, so this has brought me back. This lot's slowing me down. I'm going to send it on Lando. Thank you. Give me the space, please, Lando. You know, he's going to out-traction me. Of course he is. It's F125. You know, I remember the first time I came here on F122, it was diabolical then. And look at this. This diabolical thing. Why did they build this track? Why do we have to come here as a centre on Morris instead of places like Hockenheim, Portimao? Even Paul Ricard would be better than this chollop. As well, I've been overtaken by Norris for the umpteenth time already. I'm going to send it back down the inside of Esteban Ocon for the 158th time already. Next up, we'll try and catch Norris, but I've run out of ERS. So yes, I need an ERS. I did think about sending it on him, but I just ran out of road there. Up to the line, I've got no battery left, and it's going to be P10. It doesn't really matter anyway. It's nil points for the first time this year, and it's not really a surprise. Miami is a terrible track for me, and a terrible track, in truth be told, for racing altogether. I do get drive of the day because I qualified last, but yes, Verstappen then winning comfortably, to be honest. I have Leclerc and Hamilton second and third. Hulkenberg in the end got overtaken by George Russell. Albon fell back, so P7 for him after qualifying P4. I was expecting a bit better from him. Again, his rating and Hajar's rating is diabolical, but we're going to move on from that and into qualifying, where, yes, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've come to see. It's qualifying for the Miami Grand Prix. You can see it's dry, it's overcast. What are INTERS doing on my car? What on earth are they doing there? So, yes, as I go to track, it's a dry track, but yet for some reason, let the lap delta see there, 1.7 seconds quicker on the SOFTS. So I'm thinking, chance of pole position. Now, it's actually going to be a chance of third place because both McLarens have joined me on the soft tyres. Everybody else is on the intermediate tyres in this first start of qualifying. And I've done a 38.9, which puts me P19. Yes, I mean, I know my pace isn't great, but look at this. On intermediate tyres, 1.8 seconds faster, and that's P10. Now, unfortunately, I didn't notice the clock, and basically what happened is we are now doing INTERS pole. I know it's a career mode race, but I mean, you know, this is what happens in Creator Series where they run INTERS tyres on a dry track. It seems that there's been a crossover period and somehow the track is there. And what is that Aston Martin doing? Is that Stroll again? I mean, I'm not going to have a tantrum. I'm going to be the better man and block him off, basically, and ensure that he stays behind now. Our teammates behind as well. I'm going to use all the ERS. We got battery. Look at, again, Stroll's coming here. I'm going to have to defend. I'm supposed to be qualifying at this point. I'm 9/10 quicker than my previous best time. It's clearly time for slick tyres, obviously. That But I don't get why I was slower on softs at the start of the session. It was clearly dry. There was no indication that the track was wet at all. As well, really weird there. But yes, I'm able to out traction there. Seems that out traction out of slow corners of F125, the player has the advantage, which is why I'm going to able to defend and just use just about enough of there. Stroll's can go deep all he likes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm up down to P15 and I'm going to cross the line. I've run out of battery, use the ERS. What's it going to be? It's a 35.5, I think, which is good enough, ladies and gentlemen, for P17 as well. Albon's down here too. I mean, Gasly and Bortoletto decided to not bother with slicks as it's time for the race.
F1 seems to be growing by the day in the USA, and today's race is a testament to that. It's time for the Miami Grand Prix. The Miami International Autodrome is a 3.36-mile circuit that circumnavigates the Hard Rock Stadium. The track was designed with 19 corners and long straightaways to encourage close racing while meeting the highest safety standards. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Russell, Oscar Piastri, and Hamilton, Tsunoda, Lawson, Doohan, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Ollie Behrman, and Albon, Stroll, Phoenix, Pierre Gasly, Gabriel Bortoletto, Hadjar, and Fernando Alonso rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me, a real authority on all things motor racing. It's a warm welcome back to Anthony Davidson. Well, it's an excellent sprint yesterday, but we're back to the usual format now. How do they continue what they started?
Absolutely. You know, they're at one with their car. You could see that in the sprint. That's why they were successful there. And you've got to carry that through into this race today. And in a way, we've had a snapshot as well of what this driver's capable of.
Okay, a points finish might be difficult today, but just give it your best shot.
Now, race strategy, it's going to be a two-stop. It has to be a two-stop. If you feel the tyre wear's gone backwards on this game, and it's worse than F123. I'm hoping that fresher tyres will be able to deliver, but of course the AI have better tyre wear than the player, which is unfortunate because they don't suffer temperatures even on the circuit without the car, because temperature's off. There's still that temperature difference between the player and the AI. As vibrant lights are on for the Miami Grand Prix, and away we go. And as usual on F125, it's a great start. And I said, already past Hulkenberg, it was a bit slow down the inside there of the Racing Bull there. I think that was of Lawson. It was Lawson up to P9. That's a good start as Leclerc has the lead then, but only Max Verstappen is P2 already. As Jack Doohan in his what should be his final race, except of course Colapinto's not yet in this career mode if he's going to make an appearance at all. Down the inside of Jack Doohan, back up to P9 as I now have a look at Liam Lawson in the Racing Bulls. They've not scored any points, so I'd like to get in front of him. It's the move I did on Ocon. Can't be stuck behind these slow drivers. They need to hurry up through the slow corners really, as well as I'm going to run the outside there. It's the inside for the next corner, and yes, it is orthodox, although you're not going to see it in real life, but I mean this is a video game after all. This is a place that I've never made a move. Down the inside here at the end of the DRS zone, as someone's locked up at the front. I could see that from 5,000 light years away because of particles. Yeah, yes, I will mention this because of what happened in F122 where the AI got OP traction out of the corner. you know, and they got Prix traction out of a different corner on this year's game, that other corner, which means they are going to overtake you with DRS every point down that corner, and that's going to continue happening here on lap 4 as well. But obviously on lap 122, it was that other straight where they had the OP traction. So yes, as Tsunoda, I mean, look at this, he's doing 2 miles an hour through the stadium section. He's allowed, and as I've managed to get back in front of him, but Antonelli, excuse me, is trying his hardest to get in front of Jack Doohan. Anthony's only scored 1 point in this career mode. Again, his rating is absolutely diabolical, a shambles. Really, he's going to get in front. He's going to take it either out of my book and get that move done on Jack Doohan, but Doohan's going to come back at him. They're all squabbling behind. I've only got Tsunoda and myself with P7, but you can see the tyre wear, 29% of the rears. I've had enough. I don't want to be sliding already, especially that corner where the eye of that OP traction corner. You know, that is the worst corner for the rears tyre wear on this game. So it is going to be a 2-stop race thus, and oh, for goodness sake, like, haven't we, Gary, you have one job to get the tyres on the car into under 2 seconds. You've not done that. Why can't we steal some of Ferrari's pit crew instead of having Gary do our pit stops? But yes, up at the front as well, I was watching a couple of Ferraris who seem to have gone backwards as well, and obviously there's a huge gap. Doohan's got in front of Antonelli and Tsunoda there, but yeah, so Doohan's having a very good race in the Alpine. I'm P7, but by the time the AI made their pit stops on lap 10 onto 11, I've got 14% more tyre wears on the rears, and already lap 13 I'm going to make a pit stop. I could have continued to the end, but I would have probably been close to 50% tyre wear, even 60% on the rears, sliding about, and that would have slipped me into a wall. I know that was. And you might say that's a skill issue. I think it's the difference between the AI and, you know, the player, because they need to fix this ASAP. Hopefully we can get some tyre wear upgrades too, which we've purchased that minor one. I'm concerned on Isaac Hadjar. Poor Isaac Hadjar, by the way. If Antonelli's rating is diabolical, as Antonelli is going to make a move then on Esteban Ocon, as there's contact between Ocon and Doohan, and Ocon has lost his front end plate there. But yes, poor Isaac Hadjar, as Gasly is going to retire with a smoke stream in front of me. As I caught up to Ollie Behrman. No safety car there. I'm going to send it here on Ollie Behrman. But yeah, as I was saying, poor Isaac Hadjar, he's doing such a great job in real life, and he's not really being awarded with that in the game. Fingers crossed he gets a increase to show what he can do in the game too, and that promotion to Red Bull potentially. I couldn't get past Ocon though in the first sector, and look at this, Ollie Behrman, disgusting OP traction there from the AI out that corner. I'm going to send it back on the Behrman, but that might be it. I mean, I've lost out anyway, any chance of getting any points whatsoever. Look at this, 32% on the rears. I can't deal with that. You know, yes, if it was a F124 as well, so we crossed the line for a diabolical finish, a P17. If this was only 24, higher tyre wear would be fine. But on this year's game, it just doesn't feel like that. As well, this is not nice to drive on high tyre wear, and that's my personal opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. In terms of the race, Verstappen won again, as he usually does. Norris was a little bit closer this time as well. Albon got P8. To be fair to him, he did come through in the end and finished in front of Antonelli and Doohan, who got points. So it's not the end of the world. I like to see Albon up there scoring points with me. You know, he's another one that's tragically rated in this game. So obviously, because this is not realistic, Verstappen has a 34-point lead. Red Bull 18-point lead over Ferrari. We're still a very good position though for P5, as well as the ratings. Yes, bugged on this game, because how have I managed to get 1,000? That was a diabolical rate. That's the rating I wanted on the Focus. I had a shocking race, and I've still managed to gain Focus. Achieved 19th. I made 27 overtakes. It's still bugged from F124 as well. Somehow I lost a position and gained on there as well. And then again, no avoided point warnings and penalties. No, and I'm, you know, that's just not on really. They need to. Hopefully they look at that. Margin of Farsa, that was a second off, and then you know that wasn't great. In terms of recognition, 47%. As well, and the specialists will, you know, it's been a terrible race, but except for the quality assurance tester, who seemed to be happy with that as well. But there we go. Another little bug to mention is on the results screen, where the sprint results only show the Grand Prix results. They don't actually show the sprint results, because I finished 10th in that sprint. So yes, it's a bit it's a nice feature to add, but it's a bit pointless if it's broken. Codemasters and EA. Right, I've had a rant. I mean, yes, I hope that we can get back to some normal service. Unfortunately, Imola isn't that great a track for me. I've always lost out. But I'm hoping that the AI aren't quite so OP around there. I have definitely better track for me, and I don't finish P17. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the tyre wear is better. Obviously, Monaco, perfect to do a 2-stop. But yes, finally, we can finally say goodbye to Miami. Good riddance to a terrible track. Absolutely terrible. You know, we can go back to racing at some classic tracks. Iconic tracks such as Spa every year, Hockenheim, the Nürburgring, even places like Portimao, Paul Ricard, Magny-Cours. The list goes on.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!